What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, we're going to be talking about, did the San Francisco 49ers blow it in the Super Bowl, or did the Kansas City Chiefs just win it in the Super Bowl? So let's see what they have to say about that.
Stephen A., did the Chiefs win it or the 49ers blow it?
Oh, the 49ers blew this game. Make no mistake about it. I wanted to take a moment to give congratulations. I've known Andy Reid for 20 years since I was coaching in Philadelphia, working at the Philadelphia Inquirer. While he was coach of the Eagles. Props to him, congratulations to him, and congratulations to Mahomes, who just obviously wasn't his greatest game by any stretch of the imagination. But give credit where credit is due. I just want to show my respect to the Kansas City Chiefs and sincere congratulations from the bottom of my heart. Let me tell you this.
So I would say it's a combination of both. I think the San Francisco 49ers definitely dropped the ball at the end of the game, and the Kansas City Chiefs never gave up, and they picked up that ball and ran with it, and they won the game. So it's a combination of both. 49ers completely self-destructed, and the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely stepped it up and balled out. So let's continue.
The San Francisco 49ers blew this game, and I'm putting it on one person more than anybody else, and that's Kyle Shanahan. I mean, look, man, you talk about a brother that just coached scared. He coached like he was petrified. Now, you could argue that Patrick Mahomes could give you a reason to be that way, but my goodness, you're up 20-10. Patrick Mahomes throws an interception. At that moment in time, you would think that Kyle Shanahan missed the 28-3. He's up. He's an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons 3 years ago against the New England Patriots. Okay, 28-3. Do you run the football? No. The Patriots come back. They win the game when you could have chewed the clock, maybe kicked the field goal, sealed that victory. You would think that this brother would learn his lesson. You would.
Yeah, so there's no excuse for that for Kyle Shanahan.
That this dude would go like this, excuse me, just like I was scared of Tom Brady, I need to be scared of this guy. I am. So maybe, just maybe, I will learn from the error of my way. So what does he do? They pull within 20-17. Mostert runs for 5 yards. Okay, the running game was working for some reason in this game against a Chiefs team that was ranked 26th against the run, with Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, acknowledging after the game, thank God they stopped running the football. What do? You run the football 22 times the whole game. And in this particular situation, you get the ball back with 6:06 left. Mostert runs for 5 yards. Then it's an incomplete pass, batted down by Chris Jones, who's about 6'8". But for some reason, you keep throwing it, and here's the rest.
Yeah, so again, there's no excuse for that for Kyle Shanahan. He completely dropped the ball.
Okay, and then after that, another incomplete pass. 47 seconds chewed off the clock. And I'm not looking at the defense of the San Francisco 49ers. You go no huddle. You sitting up there, you trying to sub folks in and out, but you can't because they're going no huddle. You can't do it. Those dudes were gassed.
Yeah, so the 49ers defense, they were definitely putting in work. So they picked off Patrick Mahomes twice in the second half. And what they had, they caused 3 fumbles, and they had 4.5 to 5 sacks. So they were definitely doing their part. It's just the offense couldn't get it going. Well, at least continue what they were doing. So let's continue.
Gave them no reprieve whatsoever. I know we got 4 of us up here, so I'm going to stop by saying this. Look, in the end, what it comes down to is that Kyle Shanahan coached scared. And Max, do you know that in the fourth quarter, 7 possessions over the last 2 Super Bowls with Shanahan, the offensive genius, as the primary play caller, not even a point in 7 possessions, and they've been outscored 46-0. I don't know what else to say.
So I don't know if I would say that Kyle Shanahan coached scared as much as he coached safe. So I think he played it a little bit too safe, and you can see it really manifest itself at the end of the first half when they had a timeout, and they could have at least got, into field goal range to try to get some points up on the board, but instead they opted to go in 10-10. And then also, you're up by 10 points with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then you start passing the ball. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that at all. I can see if they had to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, because you don't want Jimmy Garoppolo trying to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, but they didn't have to. Like I said, they were up by 10 points. So all you had to do is run the rock. And also, I have to put some blame on Jimmy Garoppolo because, well, I know he's only run the plays that he's been told to run by Kyle Shanahan. But at the same time, you have to come through, man. You have to do something for your defense. You have to convert. You have to get a first down so you can keep the clock running to burn that down. You have to at least, get in field goal range to put some type of points up on the board to help supplement that 10-point lead you have with 12 minutes left in the second quarter. In the fourth quarter. You got to help your defense out. So, I don't know. Let's continue.
Anytime a team is 96% likely to win a game in the fourth quarter and they lose, part of it is what they did to lose. Part of it is what the other side did to win. I will not argue against the idea that Shanahan left the door open. He obviously left the door open. I don't think it's because he didn't run it enough and all that. I think before the half, he didn't use that timeout. That was stupid. He wasn't aggressive. He didn't show any faith in his quarterback. And you can claim that toward the end of the game, he showed you why he didn't show faith in his quarterback. But Jimmy G is actually playing very well. And some of that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Show your players you don't have faith in them. Guess what? They respond in kind. But he didn't.
Yeah, but the thing with Jimmy Garoppolo at that point in time, there was no need for him to start passing the ball. Like I said, they were up by 10 points with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so there was no need for it. Like I said, if they had to go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, that would be a different story because I don't think he could do it going against Patrick Mahomes, and we proved it. But they didn't need to. Like I said, they're up. All you had to do is run the rock. Kyle Shanahan should have been smart enough to save Jimmy Garoppolo from himself because they don't have the most amount of confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo throwing the ball. Even though I know he did against the Saints, against the Packers, and against the Seattle Seahawks, but going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes is the last thing you want. And that's exactly what type of position that Kyle Shanahan put him in when he didn't need to put him there. All you had to do was run the rock. So let's continue.
Use that timeout, and also he kicked a field goal. You saw fortune favors the bold. Andy Reid was going for it on fourth down, and this dude and Shanahan was kicking field goals. So he left the door open. But who came through that door? Patrick Mahomes, who's he's never had a bad game. Never. In his career, was having his first bad game of his career. The moment was too big for him. He wasn't settled early on. And whoa, this is Patrick Mahomes throwing interceptions on just stupid passes? He's supposed to be Brett Favre with a brain. What's going on?
Wait, man, I can't let you just dump on Brett Favre like that, Max Kellerman. Brett Favre was he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, so let's not talk like he had terrible football IQ. Granted, he might lead the league in all-time interceptions, but that's because he took a lot of risk that a lot of times he was able to come through. So let's not dump on Brett Favre like he's just a complete trash quarterback with zero IQ. So let's continue.
And then in the moment of truth, this dude, I heard you, Dan, this morning, takes an 11-step drop and flings it 44 yards. Forget about the fact that he's looking off not receivers, but defenders running the ball into the end zone in the first half. Like, still doing, even as he's having a bad game, special stuff. But with the game on the line, 3rd and 15 with the Super Bowl on the line, takes 11 steps back and flings it 44 yards for the completion. This dude is special. The reason I took the Kansas City Chiefs is because in the end, they have a player that you cannot account for. The best player who ever lived. And
Whoa. You can't say he's the best player to ever live, Max. This is really getting out of control. Sure, he's won the Super Bowl, which I'm happy. He won MVP last year, which I'm happy. He won Super Bowl MVP, which I'm happy. But to be the best ever, there's certain levels to it. And Patrick Mahomes is just at the first levels. So one of the final levels is longevity. You can't be the best player ever if you only have one Super Bowl ring and you only did it for 2 years. So he's going to have the type of longevity that Joe Montana had or a Tom Brady had. Tom Brady's been to 9 Super Bowls, won 6 of them and lost 3. That's longevity right there. So we're going to be looking at, he's going to have to do this for at least 10 years to be considered one of the best to ever do it. And he's going to have to consistently keep winning Super Bowls. So let's continue.
on a bad day, he wins
The best player who ever lived after yesterday.
Who won the Super Bowl, Molly?
Yeah. Do you see the first 3 quarters?
Yeah,
I want to let the other guys
Right.
talk.
What happened in the fourth quarter? When Tom Brady has a big fourth quarter, I don't hear about the first 3
Tom Brady
quarters.
would have won that game too. Hey, you guys get it here.
You go first, because I'm gonna get both y'all. So.
I mean, you pretty much said exactly what I'm gonna say.
Good.
Listen,
Who said
with you,
Oh,
with Shanahan.
Say Stephen A. Because they thought you were talking about
Stephen A,
that Max. I'm sorry. Let's go.
Here's the problem as a player, right? When you look at what Kyle Shanahan did in the second half of this game, especially in the fourth quarter, here's the problem that I have. Hey, dog, do what got us here. It's as simple as that. Do what got us here. And what got us here was physical, zone scheme, run games, reverses to Deebo Samuel. Why in the hell would you get away from that? Why? There was no reason to get away from it. If somebody said, all right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do what you do, the best thing you do, and it's going to win you a Super Bowl, and you don't do that, that is called being crazy. That's exactly what that's called.
He was just scared of that offense and was trusting Jimmy G to get points on the board.
Well, you don't need to be.
Yeah, so there was no reason to be scared or no reason to start throwing the ball at that point in time because everything was going correct for them. I mean, they were up by 10 with 12 minutes left in the game. There was no reason to be scared or worried or to start throwing the ball. But when it started going downhill and there were the lead was dwindling, then you start getting to the point where you're going to have to start flinging the rock, which is exactly what you don't want. So there's really no excuse for Kyle Shanahan to start calling the plays that he did. And then at the same time, you can have to blame Jimmy Garoppolo because he wasn't able to execute. But then at the same time, Kyle Shanahan and everybody kind of knows we don't really trust Jimmy Garoppolo to really be going shot for shot with Patrick Mahomes. Again, I know he did it with the Packers and the Saints and the Seahawks, but Patrick Mahomes is a different kind of beast, and you're on the highest type of stage right now. So all you had to do is run the rock, and that's it. So I don't know. Let's continue.
Coaching in the Super Bowl.
I know.
You don't need to be in this situation.
I know.
And to Stephen A's point, this is the second time. Like, at some point, some coach should have walked up to Kyle Shanahan and said, hey, you remember what happened when you was coaching with Atlanta? Don't let that happen again.